We got a drugstore tutorial today, and I'm doing a full glam tutorial because I'm so tired of soft glam. I want to put some makeup on. I want a full beat. Before I ever started buying Too Faced or Fenty, MAC, any of that stuff, I was getting Target, I was getting Walmart, anything that I could get out of there, or like the affordable side of Ulta, I was getting it. So I want to show you guys how to get a full beat with drugstore products. So let's get into it. We're getting into primer. So the first thing that I do is prime my skin. Well, really I moisturize, and I've already done that off camera. So primer today, I'm using the Master Prime by Maybelline, I believe, and then I'm using the e.l.f. Hydro Grip dupe, the Hydro Grip dupe, Power Grip. The Master Prime I'm putting in my T-zone area. I have oily skin, so everything is going to be focused around oily skin and just trying to be as matte as possible. And then I put the Power Grip on the other areas of my face where I didn't put the Master Prime at, well, so not on my T-zone area basically. After that, I let it dry down. So while that's drying down, I like to do my brows to give everything enough time to dry down. I go in with the e.l.f. Brow gel, and then I go back over top of that with some lash glue, and then I use the spoolie side of the eyebrow brush to just form my eyebrow hairs up and lay them down how I want them to lay so they will stay all day. I'm using the Revlon eyebrow pencil in the shade dark brown or soft brown. It's one of the two, and I'm just lightly filling in my brows. I have not filled in my brows for real in so long because the girlies have the soft glam, barely any makeup, and a chokehold right now, and I wanted to fill them in for once. So this is the darkest I've had my brows in probably like a year, to be honest. I've been wearing my eyebrows very light, and I've been liking it, but I wanted to do full glam today and not a soft glam look, so that required me to fill in my brows a little bit more than I usually do. And I really love the way that they came out. I freshly got my eyebrows waxed before this, so it was super easy to fill in my brows. And then go ahead and I'm cleaning them up with the e.l.f. concealer. I like to do the little trick with the lash glue and a makeup brush and just like flatten my brush out so it's super sharp. And then I'm using the e.l.f. concealer in the shade Deep Caramel and just lining my eyebrows and cleaning everything up. This was kind of light. I could have went down a shade, but it's okay. It's just gonna come out super crispy. It just made it like harder to blend out. But yeah, I just cleaned up my brows on the bottom with this shade on both sides. All of these products can be found at Target or Ulta. Everything will be available on like the Ulta affordable side of Ulta. And then Target, because I did use some Morphe products. To me, Morphe and Juvia's Place is considered affordable because their prices are not high at all, and they are on the affordable side of Ulta, so I consider them like a drugstore product as well. So after I've cleaned my brows up, I do go back in and blend that out. The e.l.f. concealer does dry super quick, so I try to blend it out one brow at a time and then go back in and do any blending or touch-up work once I was finished. For foundation, I'm using the Maybelline 30-Hour Wear. This is the first time I'm actually using this on myself, and when I say it dry down so quick, you have to move fast, so just be careful or like use your setting spray or whatever. So I used two colors. I went in between Deep Bronze and Mocha, and I mixed both of them together to get my perfect tone because the Deep Bronze was one shade lighter and the Mocha was my exact shade. But your T-zone area usually, you know, is brighter than the rest, so I wanted to mix it and just get that perfect one tone, and it was perfect. And this foundation is very matte, so if you have oily skin, it is perfect for you. So once I got everything on my face, I did go ahead and blend that out. And I want to say, like, the trick to honestly using different products is really your technique, because it doesn't really matter what you use. You could use Born This Way, Too Faced, you could use Fenty, you can use House Labs, you can use Anastasia, you can use whatever you want, and it will honestly still come out good. It's really about your technique, like I said, and not what you use. But of course, better products it's easier to do your job, but these ones are still very, very good. So once I finish blending everything out on the bottom of my brows, I do take the same foundation and I line or like clean up the top of my brows with the foundation. For my eyeshadow today, I'm going for a smoky, sultry brown look. So I used 3 different brown colors from the Juvia's Place palette. I used the first palette that you guys saw me show, and then I used the Warrior palette, and I used the browns in both of those. And I just kind of stacked them on top of each other until I got a smoky brown looking eye look. So yeah, eyeshadow really isn't hard. You just got to keep going. It's art. So the more you keep going, the more you keep blending, the better it's going to look basically. But like I said, I just feel like the products don't really matter, to be honest. It's just blending and skill and how good it's going to look at the end of the day after your technique is done. So I feel like these products were perfect. It helped it come out the same as if I had used expensive products. There really was no difference in my end result, and I loved a lot of the new things that I picked out in this video, and I will be talking about them as I go along. But for now, I'm just going to continue doing the eyeshadow look and come back a little later to explain my concealer routine. All right, so for concealer, again, we're going back in with e.l.f. I started off with Deep Chestnut, but I felt like it was a little bit too neutral tone, so I did go back in with the Deep Caramel again because I wanted to add a little bit of like a yellow undertone to my face to warm it up a little bit more. I have a red undertone naturally, so I kind of feel like both work best on my skin. When it comes to picking your colors, I just feel like you have to know if you are a cool or warm tone skin person, and that will help you when it comes to picking out your colors a lot better, because if you are a warm person and you pick out a neutral color, you will always look ashy. So this is how I like to apply my concealer for the full glam look. And I use a brush to just blend out the edges and blend out beside my nose. I feel like using the brush to blend the edges out and kind of just like put things exactly where I want them to be at. It's more precise and it helps to not have harsh lines when it goes to blending. I'm using a damp beauty blender today to blend out everything. There really is no particular way I blend out my chin and the upper lip area, just blend until it's blended in. But when you get to the under eyes, what I like to do is blend the edges first before I go to the inside, and I blend those until it is seamless, until it is not like really there that much. You know, I don't want to blend it away, but I want to blend the edges out so they are seamless and smooth into the foundation, right? I don't really feel like this is a beginner routine because you need to know what you're doing to be able to do a full glam look. But I would say this is a good beginner full glam video. So you have to have some makeup technique to be able to do this. But the products are very beginner friendly because you do not need to spend a whole bag just to get a nice full glam look. I'm using this powder puff, this triangle powder puff thing to blend out my concealer because I feel like it is so precise and it helps you get up in those corners real good. And I blend the inner corner, the inside last when I do my concealer blending because I don't want to blend away my concealer. I want to keep it in that same place and I don't want to like blend it out. That's why I do my edges first. You want to keep your concealer in the same spot or else it's kind of like defeating the purpose of you putting the concealer there because you blended it away. So I just try to blend in that same spot and just do the patting motions and not try to blend my concealer too far out. I also use a brush for my nose concealer because I just feel like it's very precise. When it comes to having a snatched nose on a full glam, you really want to make sure that it is nice and precise, this concealer line. So I use a brush to put my concealer down first, so it's
really, 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 really like, you know, precise. I'm trying to think of another word. So it's really, really like clean. That's a good word to use. So it's nice and clean. So for my setting powders today, I'm using Revolution in the shade Banana, and then I'm also using the Morphe, the Banana Rich shade. So I wanted to use the Revolution Banana shade for the right underneath of the eye, because it was super bright and I did a bright under eye. Full Glam gives you that bright under eye look. It's very dramatic. So I wanted to keep it bright by going in with a light powder. So I used Banana, and it does have some yellow in it, so it's not like too ashy looking. And then I went in on my nose highlight where the concealer was with that same powder, and down the side of my nose, everywhere that I put concealer at, I put this powder at, except for on my chin, forehead, and upper lip. I did use the Morphe powder for that because it's a little bit darker, not by a lot, but a little bit, and it's more yellow, so I don't look as ashy and as washed out. I'm using my Real Techniques brush to brush away all the extra powder. I do not let this sit on there long. I literally put it on there and I wipe it away. I don't want to be looking ashy and all of that extra stuff. Like, we don't need to bake for real. We just sit it on and brush it away. In my opinion, I just sit it on and brush it away. All my brushes are from Real Techniques and Morphe, and then I also have a set from Amazon. Honestly, would I say that it matters? I would say that you want a nice quality set. Again, I have brushes from Amazon, but they're pretty nice, so just keep that in mind. And you can get Real Techniques brushes from TJ Maxx and Marshalls now, guys. Like, they're always on sale. So, and Shein has the dupes. For my bronzing / contour, I'm using the Juvia's Place palette again in that nice brown shade. It's just perfect to look nice and glowy and warm and not be too orangey looking. And I just put that on the high points of my cheeks. Basically, I put my blush and my bronzer in the same spot. I don't contour technically. I just do bronzer. I think that I look a lot better with just bronzer. I put it on my cheeks, forehead, you know, all the spots you're supposed to do. And I also use this same shade for my nose contour as well. And because I have a rounder face, I am going down the bottom of my chin with the same shade to kind of give me a little bit more of a snatch, chisel type look. I know the nose contour is going to look a bit intimidating, but believe me, we're going to blend it out real good. And the powder really, like the eyeshadow color that I use, once you get and do the rest of your face, it kind of goes away a little bit. So it won't be as harsh looking as it looks right now. Just trust the process. I do like to blend my nose contour into my brow bone. I just think it looks really seamless and a lot better in my opinion. And I was getting hyped because the makeup was coming together and I was like so proud of myself. When I tell you I have not done this in so long, I said that earlier, and I love full glam. I'm really a full glam girly, but I couldn't go full glam everywhere to the grocery store and all. So I had to cut back a little bit. So I really love this. This looks so good. Literally filter finish. You couldn't see anything, back camera, flash, and all. When I tell you, this is the way to go. Love it. So for my contour, really I'm not contouring, but to make me look like I contoured and have that snatched, chiseled type face look, I'm using the rich shade of the Morphe translucent powder, the setting powder, excuse me, and I'm just making a line down at the bottom of my face and blending that out. I also put it on the sides of my nose, and I let that sit literally just until I'm done with the nose, and then I blend it all away to give it more of a cut look. I really want my contour to look like it's gonna cut you with a knife. I want it to be sharp when I'm doing a full glam. It just looks a lot better in my opinion. That's just how I like to do mine. And I'm just blending everything out with just like a fluffy brush, all the powder that was sitting on my face. I found this super cute color in the L'Oreal Infallible blush. This is in the shade Coral, I believe, and it was perfect. I love like an orangey blush, and this one was somewhere in between orange and pink, and it is perfect. I'm about to add this to my routine. I usually use the Juvia's Place blushes, but I was trying to do as many like affordable in the store like Target products as possible before I leaned on my Juvia's Place. Although it is affordable, like I said, I'm trying to lean on my in the store products before I went to like the affordable side of Ulta type stuff. Regardless, all of the things are affordable, but that was really my ideal goal for the video. After I put my blush on, I do go back in with some setting powder. This one is in the shade Banana Rich from Morphe, and I put that back under my eye to just highlight that bright under eye again. I'm trying to make sure that I keep it super bright because that's the whole point to me. And then I'm going in and I'm lining my waterline with a black pencil. This is from Wet n Wild. Very black. I love it, and you can't beat $1. This and the Summer Brown $1 pencil is going to get me every time. I've been using them for years, but I just like to line my waterline with black because I feel like it really makes your eyes pop, especially when you have like a bright under eye. It just brings your eyes back to life. And then I go ahead and I go in with my mascara. For my lip, I'm using the Morphe Trendsetter lip liner. She is that girl. Again, this and the Summer Brown pencil from Wet n Wild. I used to use that for years to line my lips, but sometimes it can look a little dark, so I like to use this one as well, really more so than that one, but I go back and forth between the two, and I love overlining my lips. I just can't get away from it. So I do go in and overline my lips before I go in with my color. And I take this very seriously, like so serious. I've been feeling a pinky lip more now than ever, and this was a beautiful color, exactly what I was looking for. It's in the shade Dreamer from Maybelline Superstay, and I think I called the blush from L'Oreal. I can't remember, y'all, but anyway, this is from Maybelline Superstay. And then I went on top with my NYX Praline Butter Gloss, perfect combo. And lastly, I put on top my Dior Lip Oil Dupty. Okay, this is from Amazon, and I believe it's less than $10. And if you know, the Dior is $30. This is literally the same thing. Okay, it's literally the same thing. If you don't go get you one, all the links will be in my description box for everything that I have here, and linked on my Amazon storefront under Makeup Faves. So go get you some, guys. After I do my lip, I'm brushing out all that extra powder that was just sitting on my face, and pretty much finishing up. This took me a while. I'm not gonna lie, it did take me a while. This is not a quick out the door routine. This is I'm going somewhere, I have an event routine, and you don't want to hire an MUA. You are the MUA. After I'm done with everything, I am gonna go in with my setting spray. This is the Revlon Infallible mattifying spray. I spray that all on, and then I am going in with my pressed powder and my puff, my triangle powder puff, and I'm using a lighter shade for my under eye, setting that, and then going in with a darker shade on the other areas, and as well as the foundation areas to set the foundation. Once I've done this, I am going to go back in with my setting spray and set my face again, because I feel like it just brings me back to life. It brings me all the way back, and I just have to do it. I can't skip that step. So the product that I used here is not an affordable product, but I did showcase this on my TikTok. So go check out my TikTok to see what product it is. You can really use any shimmer. I just wanted to add a little bit of shimmer to the corner of my eyes. I haven't done this since high school, but I've seen a look on YouTube that I really liked, and I was trying to mimic the same look, and it was super cute. I used a Morphe James Charles palette for my highlight, that eyeshadow color that I just showed you guys. It is perfect for highlight, and I do the exclamation point method with my nose, a dot on the tip and a line at the top, and it just makes it look so snatched. And then just a little bit of highlighter on my cheeks, and that is it. That's the full look. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and it was easy for you guys to understand. Make sure to hit that subscribe button if you're not already subscribed, and go to my TikTok so you guys can see the quick form video of this there. See you guys in my next video.